Are you flying with Fido or Fluffy this summer? Air travel with your pet is no walk in the park. Dogs and cats are creatures of habit. Travel interferes with their routines and sense of security. Imagine the stress your kitty or dog go through as they're being trapped in a small pet carrier that must fit under a passenger seat. Howling cats and whimpering dogs can bring out the worst in your seatmates. But if your heart is set on flying with your fur babies, Chief Transportation Correspondent and Pilot May K. Beeler is here with everything you need to know. May K.
There's a lot you need to know.
I bet.
So let me get through this. So traveling with your pet, it may seem like a good idea, it may seem like a dream come true, but more often it's a human dream and a pet nightmare, according to a report by travel expert Christopher Elliott, who begs us to stop flying with our pets, please. Veterinarian Sabrina Kong says many pets are not fit to fly. They may be too big, too old, ill-tempered. Many of the mid-sized to large ones, they're terrified being caged in the cargo hold on the aircraft, and if a pet is small enough to fit in a carrier underneath your seat in the cabin, well, it's often traumatized by the experience. And despite what you may see on social media, on commercial airliners, there's no taking the animal out of its carrier to sit on your lap, stretch out and gaze out the window. Yes, there are exceptions, law enforcement and service animals. They don't have to be in a carrier under your seat, often they're too big, and they don't need to be in a cage or a kennel in the cargo hold. They can lie by its handler's feet on the floor. These dogs fly for free, but they have to have a reservation. Therapy pets and all others, they got to pay to ride. Yeah, you got to reserve and pay their fee. Now, according to a report by Connect Air, 78% of Americans would fly with their animals on a private plane if they could afford to, but it's expensive.
I could totally see people doing that. So what do people need to know if they've never flown with a pet before? What's kind of the checklist?
So I'm going to go through it, but the short answer is check your website with your air carrier and set up everything in advance. So when you make your personal reservation, you got to make a reservation for your pet too. Yes, there is a pet fee, and flying on the cabin or in the cabin, limited space available bases only. Airlines limit the number of pets allowed to fly in the cabin on a given flight, and not all airlines allow it anyway. If your pet is too big to fit in a carrier under the seat, certain airlines and certain aircraft models allow the animal to ride in the cargo hold for a fee. Now, if you don't buy a separate seat for your pet in the cabin, the pet carrier under the seat, that counts towards a carry-on allotment. All pets, this is important, must have the required paperwork, health certificates from your vet, vaccinations. They must be presented to the gate agent, although all arrangements must be made in advance. Give them a call. You cannot just show up with your pet on the day of travel without the proper paperwork or advance reservation. This is huge because people make this mistake all the time.
I was going to say, I bet people do that. So what happens if someone doesn't know all the rules and they show up with an animal?
It's not good. They're turned away. Or you've got to call somebody to come get your pet. So no, you got to do all the paperwork and make the reservations all in advance. Don't just show up or you can't fly with your pet. And some horrible things have happened about that, what people have done. I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah. Okay, gosh, that's good to know. Well, we are out of time, but yeah, there's definitely a lot to know on this and the conditions of the animals that have to go in the cargo hold.
Yeah.
But I'm sure airlines do the best they can to take care of the pets.
Right, and go on the website because there's a temperature limitation too for them riding in the cargo hold. Please check your airline.